Hello, how are you? Here we are. I'm Manu here, your yoga biz mentor, and today I am talking to you something that I hope it's really helpful for you and you find interesting, and it's about handling deposits for retreats reservation. And let me explain this because this is something that some of the people that I've been working with, they have this issue in which they book a venue to host their retreat in the future. And of course, what happens when you book a venue is that the venue is going to ask you for a deposit. And of course, you're going to have to pay that deposit up front in order to book that venue. Now, here is the problem. If you don't get to fill up your retreat, or if you don't get to reach or to get as many people as you would like to, or as many people as you initially planned to fill your retreat, what's going to happen is that you could potentially lose your deposit. And so this is the purpose of this meeting today, of this live today. It's to know how to handle this, so that if you are planning a retreat in the future, in the next 6, 12 months, whatever time in advance, so that you know how to handle this in order for you not to risk the deposit, because usually they tend to be like a 25% or something like that. And of course, you don't want to lose that money. If you're watching the live, please let me know that you're here. If you're watching the video, you can just also share a comment and let me know that you've been watching this video. And let me know if you find this interesting, because that will allow me to understand what are the topics you are more interested in, so that I can share on here on Instagram and also in YouTube. So let's start with what goes wrong. And as I mentioned before, this is something that I've been seeing with some retreat leaders that I've been for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been connecting with some retreat leaders that I knew from the previous couple of years, and some of them have booked a venue in order to host a retreat, and they host their venue, but they didn't have any bookings yet. So of course, while it's always the goal is to fill the retreat, and there is the need there to put a marketing strategy in place to bring the people to your retreat so that you can pay your deposit. There is also the risk that this retreat don't fill. And what's going to happen is that if those retreats don't fill, eventually the deposit that is being paid to book the venue will be lost. The venue will get that deposit. So how do I recommend to manage this? Okay, here is the first thing. And the first thing is that when you book a venue, when you have or let's start even earlier, when the idea of running a retreat, let's say you're planning to run a retreat in Thailand, for example. And so how would you proceed with that? First of all, I really recommend you to have a lot of time in advance, as much as possible, at least, I would say 8 to 12 months. That would be the ideal case scenario. And so you can connect with the venues. And once you connect with the venues, what you can do is to ask the venue about the pricing and the conditions for booking for those particular days where you want to have your retreat. And so usually what's going to happen is that the venue is going to come back to you with the terms and conditions and the deposit. And so now there you have the pricing for the rooms. Usually they also give you the pricing for the food if you're going to be offering the meals in the same venue, which is typically the case. And so with that information, you already have an idea of how much it's going to cost to run your retreat, not only for your participants, but also for yourself, because you're also going to have to keep in mind and to count your food, your accommodation. But all of those things are things that you can figure out when you get that response from the venue, letting you know about the pricing and the booking conditions and so on. So you got the dates because you have those dates in mind. You got the venue because the venue has those dates available, and you can have an idea of the pricing. Estimated idea of the pricing, because for now you only have the room and the food, but there needs to be done an exercise here in which you also include other costs that your retreat might have, and those might be the traveling expenses for you, might be the marketing expenses if you are promoting your retreat on some websites for promoting your retreat, or if you are hiring a virtual assistant to do the marketing. All of those are expenses that should be included in the total price of your retreat, so that you can calculate and you can estimate a price that is accurate before you actually pay the deposit. Okay. So I hope this makes sense. Please let me know in the comments if it's not clear. So we haven't paid a deposit yet. We just asked the venue how much would it cost to run or retreat in such and such dates in this venue. We're gonna get that information. With that information, we're gonna include that pricing and we're gonna place it out in the file. We're gonna do a pricing spreadsheet, and along with that, we're gonna put all of the costs with the retreat. Now, once you have the pricing, you have the venue, you have the dates. Now, this is the time to talk to your community. This is the time to talk to people that are part of your email list, of your social media, people who join your classes or who have joined your classes, your workshops in the past. Usually, as you move along in the process of creating and marketing a retreat, you will need a landing page on your website. But in order for you to be able to cover the deposit and not, in order for you not to pull the money out of your pocket to cover the deposit of the venue, what you can do right now, once you have the pricing, once you have the dates and the venue, what you can do right now is to promote your retreat. Even before you're ready, even before the venue is completely booked, and try to book a few people. And as soon as you have 2 or 3 people who jump to your retreat, who come to your retreat and to want to pay a deposit, that deposit that they pay is a deposit that you can use to pay the venue. I hope that makes sense. In the comments, what I'm trying to do here it's to tell you how to avoid risking your deposit, because you don't want to do that. So let's say that you have 3 or 4 people who, with that information, you can tell them, look, I have this retreat happening in this venue. This is going to be roughly the cost. If you want to sign up now, pay a deposit up front, and you're going to be available to get the early bird promotion. And so if you have like those 2 or 3 people, whatever cover the deposit expenses, that's perfect. That means you can take that money, you can bring it to the venue, and then you don't have to pull that money out of your pocket. It's a little bit of a reverse engineer, and I want to share this with you today because this is an issue that I've been seeing over and over in some retreat leaders, and I want you to be super aware of that. Okay, risking a deposit is not something that is desirable. Of course, we want to make our retreat to be as successful as possible, and we cannot or we shouldn't start losing the deposit. So I hope this is useful. This is what I want to share with you today. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know if you would like to run a retreat in the future. And before I go, I want to just let you know that, of course, you don't have, in order to work in this process, it is important that you do have a community, that you have an email list or a group of people that you know in person, or perhaps phone contacts, people that you know they are potential retreat participants. And if you don't have that, then it's going to be harder for you to go through this process. Because if you don't have a group of people that you have been teaching, a group of people that know, like, and trust you, then it's going to be harder for you to sell the retreat. And therefore, it's going to be, I'm not going to say impossible, but very difficult to go through this process. So if you are in that process right now, you are in the process of building your list, you are in the process of building your community, there is one thing that I would highly recommend you. And this is one of the first steps that I wish someone told me to do this when I started my entrepreneur journey. And that is creating a compelling and powerful marketing message. How do you do that? You can do that through crafting your own I help statement. And the best way to craft your I help statement is to take my free masterclass. You just can go to the link in my bio if you are on Instagram, if you're on YouTube. Just let me know, send me a message, drop a comment, and I can send you the link to my free masterclass to craft your I help statement. That it's going to allow you creating a powerful marketing message that can help you connecting with students and clients online better and faster. So I hope this is helpful, and that's it for today. I just want to jump on this live today to share these thoughts with you. I am here talking to you from Germany. I'm in a friend's house, and we are just in front of the Constance Lake. It's a beautiful place. So this is all that I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for your time, and please reach out if you have any questions. Bye-bye.